don't make fun of me. So here's my shirt. And I'm going to put a neckband on it. So I took my cotton lycra. It's got to stretch and recover. And I cut, this is 1 3/4 inch. So look down at the neck. I'm just going to measure around. Bump, bump. I'm not stretching it. This is just how I'm guessing my measurement. And then back down the back. And you see I've got this much uncovered, so that's just about right for me. So I'm set. Because you're going to stretch it as you sew it. Now I'm going to iron right sides together. Sorry, starch and iron. Sorry, wrong sides together. I'm ironing this just like I want it to look on my shirt. The heavy starch really works better, but I have the light stuff. Okay. So this is how it's going to look, except now I have to connect it. So I'm going to open it, and now sew right sides together. So I sewed my 2 sides together. I'm going to open it, and I'm going to iron these seams open. It just helps it lay better when you're going to serge over it. Not the most important step there ever was, and sometimes it may flip back up, and I really don't care. But I at least take the time to try to iron it. Then I'm going to fold everything just like it was when we ironed it a minute ago. Once again, get my starch. And just set it nice. Now this is a pretty rolly knit, so they're not the most fun to work with, but they work well. Okay, I've got my seam right in the middle, okay? And now I'm going to fold this in half. So I've technically got quarters now. So my seam is one spot. Since this is black, I'm going to use chalk. This is special chalk made by Crayola. So I'm going to mark the other end, and I'm going to mark these 2 ends. Hopefully I'll be able to see it, but I think so. So now I know my 4 quarters, everything that's lined up. On your shirt, you can mark it. I generally don't. Because I just eyeball it, but I'm going to mark center back, center front, and just in front of each seam line. The front's always deeper than the back, so don't line up directly on that seam or you won't have enough stretch, but maybe an inch or a little bit less in the front. Lots of patterns will have all of those marks for you though. So now I'm going to go over to my serger and line it up. Okay, so I'm over here. I've got the back of my shirt, so I lined up my seam line right here in the middle. I'm going to back up maybe an inch because you cannot serge with pins in. Doesn't mean you can't pin, just means you have to remove it. So my pin's way is back, just so I've got, so I can stretch against my knit. Okay, I'm going to load it in. So I'm loaded right around the seam line now. See, my pin is far behind, so it's not going to get into the middle. So I'm going to go just a few stitches so I'm nice and locked in. Find my first mark. It's probably hard to see, but there's a chalk mark right here. And I'm going just in front of my shoulder seam line. So this is where I'm stretching my neckband, but not my shirt. Okay, so I'm going to hold it with my right hand, keep my shirt lined up with my left hand, serge all the way to my fingers. Careful, don't go goofing off your fingers and blaming me for it. Okay, I found the next mark, going for there's midline my shirt because I had a mark there. See, you can tell it's not stretched right now, so I will line it up, stretch, go, all the way to my fingers, stopped here, not at the blade, and then I'm going to line up my last one here. Same thing, get my fabric. And the last step, remember that pin's still in there? Sometimes I pull it out so I don't forget it. Once again. Stop anytime you want to rearrange. Okay, I'm just serging off because I'm going to top stitch it down, so I'm not worried about. But now I have my neckband. I'm going to go press it, iron it down, and then use a special top stitch.